Hi, Jens Loefler is here with me from Adobe. Thanks for joining us. And I'm just going to sort of jump right into some really tough questions here for you. Now, I know Adobe is really the heart of a lot of the technology for watching video on all kinds of devices. But tell us a little bit about, the difference that you're seeing in the marketplace in terms of, we've got, browser-based video viewing versus sort of apps. It seems like, we've got a bit of a divide here. And yeah, tell me a little bit about that. And you guys enable both aspects of that.
Yeah, we do. So we were really trying to cover a broad range of devices and use cases. And I think this is really an emerging space right now where really the business models need to get figured out. I think there's definitely one approach is the browser-based model, similar to what Google TV started last year. And then there's the application-based model. From an Adobe perspective, we support both. We have Flash Player in the browser for digital home, as well as we have Air that basically allows you to create Flash-based application for those devices and deliver video content to both categories. From an evolution perspective, it's hard to tell what the direction is. It seems to be go more into the application model, but things could change quickly.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about this whole idea of connected TVs. I think we're going to probably see a lot of this at CES, and everybody's talking about it. But I have a feeling that consumers think of connected TVs a little bit differently from what's actually going to happen with connected TVs. Are we going to see people being able to use their browser, for example, to access anything that they would on their PC in terms of video on their TV? Or are we going to see a totally different experience?
Well, I mean, the browser model is definitely a potential model. Google TV has Flash-enabled browsers, the same thing for Samsung Smart TVs. So you can definitely browse on your television. I think the challenge will be how is the user experience, and often applications provide a slightly better user experience. I mean, I don't want to do bold predictions here, but I think definitely we see a drive towards application just from a user experience perspective. What comes with applications is a different experience than on the desktop. So they're definitely a business model. So the person from Verizon prior to me explained this. There's definitely a drive towards TV everywhere and use authentication. So Adobe has been very active to support authentication models with Adobe Pass, and that works both in the browser as well as applications. So I don't want to make too bold predictions again, but I think definitely we'll see a drive more towards application models.
Right. But do you feel like the whole idea of having these applications, is that a way for content owners to kind of control what you can see on your connected TV versus if you have sort of an open browser that you're able to just go anywhere and, for example, go to CBS.com and watch 60 Minutes? Is it a content issue? Is it a business issue, I guess, more than sort of a technical issue?
Yeah, I don't want to comment on business issues, but I mean, definitely there is the TV everywhere model where access to content is enabled by your subscription and by your cable login. And obviously there is a motivation not to have get people access to content and basically drive the adoption or motivate people to become cord cutters. I mean, obviously that is a potential thing that I could see as an issue if you would provide full access on your television. I think it's also the television space is a very sensitive area. I mean, obviously it's a 10-foot experience, and it is a very great use case for video. So obviously it's a sensitive area. I don't want to. Adobe is open to all the business models, but definitely the digital home is a sensitive space. So I wouldn't expect to have full access to all the content through the browser without requiring your cable subscription. But that's, again, that's my personal
So if I
prediction.
go out and buy a connected TV, this is not probably going to allow me to cut the cord per se. I'm not going to have sort of all freedom to get. It's not going to be my nirvana as a cord cutter.
Yeah, I mean, potentially not. It really depends. 60 Minutes might be available on your digital TV, so that's a possibility. There might be other content that's not available. So as an example, if you go to sites that are premium video content, as an example, HBO has a subscription service. They have HBO Go or TV Everywhere service. So those are ways to get content on those devices, but they're authenticated, so you can get those without actually paying for HBO.